I have called for your resignation. I didn't think you were qualified before your confirmation, and you have done nothing to inspire confidence in your ability to lead competently. You broke the law in sharing classified information, and in doing so, endangered the lives of our service members that you are responsible for. Your inability to hold yourself accountable makes you incapable to lead. This alone makes you unfit to be the Secretary of Defense. You're not worthy of my attention or my questions. You're an embarrassment to this country. You're unfit to lead, and there's been bipartisan members of Congress that have called for your resignation. You should just get the hell out and let somebody competently lead.
When you watch Congressman Salud Carbajal go toe-to-toe with Pete Hegseth, what you're seeing is not just political theater, not just frustration, and certainly not just partisanship. You're watching a Marine veteran say, enough is enough. And it matters, because this isn't about personalities. This is about the integrity of America's armed forces and the danger of turning them into tools for partisan crusades.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It shouldn't come as no surprise that I have serious concerns with both the deployment of the National Guard and the Marines to Los Angeles. I served in the Marine Corps. We are trained to be war fighters, not for crowd control. Everyone here should be alarmed that the president has sent armed forces into a city against the wishes of a governor and mayor. I am concerned this administration is purposely escalating the situation with this step and politicizing our armed forces in the process. Let's call it for what it is. It's political theater. Hegseth, are the Marines in Los Angeles ordered to protect property by any means necessary?
Sir, I would say the ICE officers and police officers being attacked is not political theater. The National Guard and Marines,
just yes or no. Just yes or no.
The National Guard and Marines have the full authority to protect federal ICE agents.
Yes or no.
Can
you just say yes or no? This isn't Fox anymore. Just yes or no.
They're there to protect federal agents and federal.
Another BS answer. Under the SRUF, the use of force, are Marines allowed to fire warning shots?
No.
Now that's more like it. Isn't that easy? Well, I'm going to beat this drum because you refuse to take responsibility. Will you take responsibility for having made a mistake? Not to mention many people would say break the law in participating in the Signal group chat that included a journalist, your wife, your brother, where classified information was shared.
Sir, every way I communicate is authorized.
Okay, if you want to say that. I have called for your resignation. I didn't think you were qualified before your confirmation, and you have done nothing to inspire confidence in your ability to lead competently. You broke the law in sharing classified information, and in doing so, endangered the lives of our service members that you are responsible for. Your inability to hold yourself accountable makes you incapable to lead. This alone makes you unfit to be the Secretary of Defense. Secretary, do you think the United States should continue supporting Ukraine in its fight against Russia, a nation that is hostile towards the United States?
Well, as you know, sir, President Trump is committed to peace.
No, I just want yes or no answers.
Today, the United States has spent billions of dollars.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Over years.
Just yes or no. Can I get a yes or no out of you?
We continue to send
Come on.
Presidential drawdown.
It's that easy. Kindergartners can give me a yes or no. Yes or no.
Yes, we support peace in Ukraine.
Come on. Is this really leadership? You're an embarrassment to the United States. If Russia invades NATO allies, are you going to recommend to the president that we fulfill our Article 5 obligations?
Well, Russia has not invaded NATO allies.
No.
President Trump.
No. I reclaim my time. Yes or no? It's that simple.
There's Article 5 in NATO, which we recognize.
So is the answer yes or no?
That's what Article 5 is, yes.
Good. I'm glad you brought yourself to saying yes. Do you think political allegiance to Trump is a requirement for serving our nation, either in uniform or a civilian in the department?
I'm incredibly proud, as are millions of Americans.
No. Not today, Hegseth. Yes or no?
Congressman, you know what a silly question that is.
But silly enough to warrant a very straightforward answer. Yes or no?
We all support and defend the Constitution of the United States.
You know what? I'm not going to waste my time anymore. You're not worthy of my attention or my questions. You're an embarrassment to this country. You're unfit to lead. and there's been bipartisan members of Congress that have called for your resignation. You should just get the hell out and let somebody competently lead this department.
Mr. Chairman, do we not have any decorum in here?
Thank you very much. I yield my time.
Carbajal isn't speaking as a pundit or a keyboard warrior. He is speaking as someone who served. Marines are trained for combat, not to police American citizens. That is a deeply important distinction. The military exists to protect the nation, not to enforce a president's political agenda in cities that never asked for federal intervention. When troops are deployed against the wishes of a governor and a mayor, that's not security. That's a red flag about democracy itself. And Carbajal calls it out for what it is, political theater. But he goes further, because even theater has boundaries. Sending Marines into Los Angeles as part of a response led by a man with a history of sharing classified information in a group chat, including with his wife and a journalist, is beyond reckless. That's not speculation. That's not hyperbole. That's a direct threat to the people who wear that uniform every day, who trust that their leaders won't trade their safety for political loyalty or media stardom. When Carbajal forces Hegseth into those yes or no answers, he's exposing a pattern. Dodging simple questions, after-the-fact excuses, loyalty tests, circular talking points about peace instead of honest answers about Ukraine, NATO, or U.S. commitments. It's a tactic, one designed to avoid accountability and avoid acknowledging how deeply politicized the Department of Defense has become under leadership that treats every issue like a campaign commercial. But Carbajal cuts through that fog. He brings it back to something simple. Leaders must be accountable. Leaders must respect the law. Leaders must uphold the Constitution. Not a politician, not a party, not a movement. When Hegseth refuses to even acknowledge whether political allegiance to Trump is a requirement to serve, Carbajal calls out what millions of Americans see clearly. That kind of answer is not leadership. It's submission. And it's dangerous. This moment matters because it shows what leadership actually looks like. Not the loudest person in the room, not the one most loyal to a partisan figurehead, but the one willing to defend democratic norms, the safety of service members, and the principle that no leader, civilian or military, is above accountability. And that's why Carbajal's final words hit so hard. He's not grandstanding. He's not seeking attention. He's telling the truth. If you cannot lead with integrity, if you cannot answer basic questions, if you endanger the people you are entrusted to protect, then you are unfit to lead, period. If we want a country where the military serves the Constitution, not a president, if we want leaders who value honesty over loyalty tests, if we want institutions that protect democracy instead of performing for cameras, then voices like Carbajal's are essential. And the sooner more Americans recognize what's at stake, the better. If you appreciate leaders who stand up to abuse of power, don't just watch. Stay informed, stay engaged, and use your voice. Democracy depends on it.